What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com, and welcome back to another one of our Kentucky Derby updates. Well, we got a lot to talk about, even though not a lot happened last week. Let's start with the big news, the breaking news, and really kind of, in my opinion, some monumental news, something I really speculated might happen, and it didn't the last couple of years. Well, it finally happened this year. News just broke, LA Times article and a Thoroughbred Daily News article. Thoroughbred Daily News article was first saying, quote, most of Bob Baffert horses were going to stay. And then the LA Times article came out just after that and said all of the Bob Baffert 3-year-olds are going to stay with Bob Baffert. So what that means is all these horses like May Moon and Nisos and Muth and, even, like a Imagination and a Windstock, all these horses that were Coach Prime, all these horses that were on track for the Derby or at least pointing towards the Derby, all of them are not going to run. We can take all of them off the list when it comes to the Kentucky Derby. They're staying with Bob Baffert. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't run in prep races. They certainly will do that. It doesn't mean they can't run in the Preakness or the Belmont. They certainly will do that. But the Kentucky Derby itself, this is a Kentucky Derby update. Here's the biggest update of the year so far. None of the Bob Baffert runners are going to be there. So, really a monumental day in horse racing where a group of owners, this is not just one guy, this is several people that have, different horses with Baffert said, you know what, Bob Baffert and him training for us and him training our horses and keeping our horses in his care, it's more important than the Kentucky Derby. That's an amazing statement to make. Now, the flip side on this, Churchill Downs, this is on you. This is 1,000% on you. Let me be clear. Bob Baffert got caught cheating in the Kentucky Derby. Accident or not, debated or not, was it what was it? Should it have happened or should he got the positive test or not? All this stuff, you can debate it. The fact is he got a positive test. Churchill Downs had to punish him. I'm sorry, they just had to. And again, you can debate, was it too long? Was it too short? I don't know. Whatever. You can debate it, but they had to punish him with something, right? They gave him a 2-year ban. He served that penalty. The ban was over. And out of thin air, one day, Churchill Downs came out and said, we're going to extend this another year. Why? This was over. And let's face it, it was kind of a convoluted mess, those 2 years anyway. I supported them. Hey, you got to do something. I get it. I don't think the end result, those 2 years, were really what anybody kind of had in mind. It kind of hurt the Derby more than it hurt Bob Baffert, right? Kind of hurt the handicappers. Kind of hurt the fans because it was just a weird situation of who's going where, and it was just kind of a mess. It was over. We were done with it. And then you did this. You got what you deserved, Churchill Downs. Kudos to the Bob Baffert owners. Look, it's ridiculous that you extended this thing for no apparent reason. So you get what you deserve. I hate that the Baffert horses aren't going to be there. It's the Kentucky Derby. I want the best horses there for the biggest race in the United States. That's not going to be the case this year. He served his time. You should have just left it alone. All right, let's move to it though. And let's talk about the horses that are going to be there. There were not any preps last weekend at any of the tracks, but there were a couple of maiden winners I want to talk about. Let's talk about Speakeasy, who won the maiden special weight on Pegasus World Cup Day. This has been kind of an infamous race over the years. Of course, Hidden Scroll kind of made the maiden special weight on Pegasus Day. Kind of made it popular, so to speak, as he had that brilliant effort and then he never really could recapture it. But who really made this race famous was Mage. Last year, Mage debuted in the maiden special weight on Pegasus World Cup Day. He went on to win the Kentucky Derby. So who won it this year? Like I said, it was Speakeasy. I thought he ran very well. Never in 1 second did you think he was going to lose that race. Just kind of dominated. He beat a heavily hyped horse named Victory Avenue as well. Thought he ran okay. He just got beat by a little bit better of a horse. Speakeasy earns a 100 buyer speed figure. I have seen Craig Milkowski from the Timeform, who makes the Timeform speed figures, kind of say, hey, the speed figures for that race, it's a little bit of a guess, kind of a lot of guesswork and stuff. So don't take it just too seriously. I mean, it is a data point, but maybe not a precise one. So take it for what it is. Speed figures aside, he looked very, very good. Another horse for Brad Cox named Just a Touch, won on maiden special weight over the slop at Fairgrounds. I thought he looked very good as well. So you might, Speakeasy's going to get the big kind of headlines. Just a Touch, he kind of snuck under the radar there at Fairgrounds. Keep an eye out for him. He looked very, very good as well. I put both of them in the top 20. I did not put them in the top 5. So to get to the top 5, sans Bob Baffert horses that now are officially out. At number 5 this week, I have Dornoch. He's back into the top 5 here. Look, I've kind of been on record. He's very confusing. By the way, Sierra Leone, the horse that finished second to Dornoch, I've got him 6th. They're both really confusing. I've been saying it. I don't have a strong opinion on either one of them, and I won't really know until they run again. And the reason why I say that, if you watch the Rimson Stakes that they were both in last time out, Sierra Leone passes Dornoch like he's standing still. It looks like Sierra Leone's going to romp and be a really nice horse. All of a sudden, Dornoch re-rallies, and they get into a battle, and Dornoch wins. So did Sierra Leone stop? Did Dornoch kind of get lazy and then realize he needed to run again? Like, what really happened? We need to see him again. But anyway, Dornoch, number 5. Number 4 is just a maiden special weight winner, but one I think is going to be extremely good. That's Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, an impressive maiden special weight winner at Fairgrounds on a Lecomte day. He ran a faster time, got a faster buyer than the Lecomte winner. Still, though, lesser class, a little bit easier of a challenge for him. We're going to see him in the Risen Star next. He's a very impressive prospect. Keep an eye out on him. Number 3 is Locked. This horse, already a grade 1 winner, won the Breeders' Futurity, ran pretty well in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile once he kind of got running. He kind of looked like he hated the track for a lot of that race, and then he finally got going at the end. Got a good pedigree. I think he's going to be pretty solid. We're kind of waiting for him to run next. So number 3 on the list is Locked. Number 2, Track Phantom. He's getting better with each and every start. I don't think there's any doubt about that. We've seen Steve Asmussen use that Fairgrounds trail perfectly over the years, and I think he's going to do it again. Especially recently, we've seen Asmussen do it. You think about Epicenter, Track Phantom up to this point kind of looks like Epicenter. Similar running style. The big key with Epicenter, he kept making nice jumps with each start. We'll see if Track Phantom can do that as well. I've got him at number 2. And number 1, and finally, we don't have to wait for number 1 to come back. Fierceness. I've got Fierceness at number 1 this week. And of course, the brilliant Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner will be back in the Holy Bull this week. It'll be a ton of fun to see what he can do there. And it's nice. Our number 1 horse is going to run. So we'll see what he can do. Of course, 2 brilliant performances, 1 dud. We don't really know what happened in that dud of the race. So we'll just kind of see. But Fierceness, number 1. We'll see what he does in his first start as a 3-year-old. So number 5, Dornoch. Number 4, Hall of Fame. Number 3, Locked. Number 2, Track Phantom. Number 1, Fierceness. Finally, we'll look ahead to this week a little bit. 4 prep races this week. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch this all unfold. I guess the major one will be the Grade 3 Holy Bull Stakes. It'll be happening at Gulfstream Park. It does have Fierceness. It's a field of 8. It's Fierceness, and it's kind of, I guess Otello's in the race, the winner of the Mucho Macho Man. There's not a ton in there past those 2, so we'll see how that shakes up. The Southwest Stakes will be at Oaklawn Park, another Grade 3 event, and it's a field of 12, and it's a field of a lot of question marks. It's a great betting race. Going into it, I don't really see a ton of like prime prospects, but coming out of it, we might know of a couple. You never know, right? After the race is run. So it looks like a wide open grab bag. This is going to be a very interesting race, the Southwest field of 12. There's 2 other races that haven't been drawn just yet. The Robert B. Lewis will be at Santa Anita, and then the Withers will be at Aqueduct. They will draw on Wednesday. So we'll kind of let you know and have obviously preview videos of all 4. We already have 2 up on the site now. We'll have the Withers and Robert B. Lewis once we've handicapped those races and we know the field. So anyway, that'll do it for this week's Kentucky Derby update. So much going on. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun this weekend as we kind of start to really break this thing down. So thanks everybody for watching this video. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, come back right here next week for another major Kentucky Derby update.